Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the League of Dracula 2024. And the knockout phases are underway. It's really strange for me to be saying that. We've always had a league format for this tournament, but now the first time we're having a league plus knockout. So here we are in the first round of this knockout match between Snuffaluffagus, the number 5 seed, and Geo, the number 12 seed. In this match in particular, Geo is playing as Hunters, and Snuff is playing as Dracula as highest seed. Snuff was able to choose what role he wanted, so he chose Dracula. And hello to everybody in the live stream, and hello also to my co-commentator, Spencer Wolfire is here. Hello, Spencer.
Howdy.
Hey. Okay, hopefully everyone in the live stream heard that, and I actually used the hotkeys correctly. They'll tell us soon if they don't hear anything. So I can't see my OBS and the live stream and the game all at the same time. That'd just be a bit too much.
Is there anyone currently watching?
Yep, JB Philly is here. Fangs of Fire is here. There are two other people lurking. That's okay.
Well, the game's a little bit underway already, but just a pretty typical opening round so far. Hunters have just been supplying typical starting setup. Nothing terribly exciting yet.
Okay, interesting. They heard you, but not me, apparently.
Well, that's interesting.
Okay, hopefully they hear me now.
So they didn't hear any of your introduction.
Apparently not. Either that or JB Philly just only just walked in. Damn it. Maybe my
Well, I
hotkeys
guess
are
this is my stream
reset.
now.
I guess so, yeah. You have to run, so I'm going AFK. You can take this one solo. Oh, he says, I hear you both, says Philly. Okay, that's
Okay,
grand.
that's good.
I don't know, do they hear the intro then? Perhaps not. I used the hotkeys correctly.
Oh
Maybe.
well, I feel like if they're watching this video, they probably already know what the channel's all about. So
Oh, he says there are no audio problems. Okay, cool. Alright, that's
okay.
fine. Oh, you've heard it all? Okay, grand. Okay, okay.
Okay, then what was that all about?
I don't know. Philly confused me. Just said, we hear Spencer, which implied to me that he couldn't hear me. Never mind. Anyway.
Well, I think he was just confirming that you did get it right and they could hear me.
Oh, okay. Well, that's alright then. Yeah. Great strike
Okay.
on Mina, but otherwise. Oh no,
At
Mr.
any
Research
rate,
on the
game's
way.
a little bit underway. Pretty typical opening move, so nothing terribly exciting yet.
No. No early finds.
Nope. Dracula did do the typical misdirect for his starting space.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. This might be the first time that quite a lot of people who are watching might have heard your voice, because you have done
I
voice
did
calls
one
in
with
games
I
before.
did I did I think do one with Geo, or was it? It might have been Captain Gyro.
Ah, okay.
I think I did one,
That's good.
and then I was also on one of the community games. But yeah,
Yeah. When you joined the community back in the day, we did do some more sort of voice calls, and you took me and Roscoe for quite a chase all around Europe. I remember, and some lair
is that
shenaniganry.
when I introduced the layer strategy?
I think you'd introduced that before, but I think it was just a case of that time you got us really good and proper with it. um, yeah, so everybody doesn't know the layer strategy, which has definitely not become meta in this tournament, but has definitely seen more prominence, and you've seen other people trying it out. You are the OG, so to speak. You're the one who introduced us
Yeah,
all to that.
yeah, definitely not a meta, but like any strategy, it's useful depending on the situation.
Right, right.
Okay. Well, we've seen Dracula has rumored his first encounter there.
Which is controversial because you don't like that.
It again, it depends. Sometimes he's already used misdirect, but sometimes I like to. Oh, there's a hired scout. Sometimes I do like to put down something important quickly, then move wolf, and then misdirect my wolf location, so that it's that much harder to find the original encounter I seeded, which sometimes it's like a hoax or maybe a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I generally do like to hold on to my rumors, and then later in the game do like a rumor blitz where I put down a bunch of vampires, rumor them all, and hope they can't get them all.
Mm-hmm. But do you think that's just a general strat that people should employ? Do you think that's more opponent dependent?
I I think it's like pretty much anything in this game. It's opponent and situation dependent. Like what's helpful at any given moment is going to depend on the board state.
Right. You just have to be adaptable.
Yeah, and that's especially a good one. Like the vampire blitz is great if there are a lot of stakes in the discard, which makes it
Mm-hmm.
that much harder for them to deal with them all.
Sure. Especially later on, where they should be prioritizing other stuff.
Yeah.
Philly saying if you're starting in extremity and have good delaying cards to protect the vampire, then he doesn't mind first space
Yeah.
rumor.
Yeah, that's true. Like if you can stick that in Athens and then put a fog, or I guess not a saboteur wouldn't really work in Bologna. Maybe on if you'd hit in Athens and saboteured as well,
Right.
that could work.
Or even if you did get an early fog, if you want to try and use it early and then cycle that out, you might be able to pop that down.
Yeah, fogging Rome early can be a good one because that cuts off Naples and Bari by land.
Right. Because it's interesting, especially having you on here, because you would have developed like your lair strategy, I guess, with the physical board game. If I remember
I
rightly, you
actually hadn't
played the
really
physical.
played the physical board game at that point.
Ah, so you just developed that strategy purely from digital. Blimey.
That's when I really started getting into the game. I think I played it once or twice on Tabletop Simulator, but I didn't actually really start getting into the strategy of it until I got the dedicated digital app.
Right. Okay. And now, obviously, you've seen because I mean, for people who don't know, that you've been around the community for quite a long time. You joined just a little bit after me, a few months, so you've been in all the tournaments, right? So it's not like you're coming
Yeah.
in new, and you've obviously seen the change now with the Immortal update and how now you got the trail
Yeah.
sliding first. How have you found that? Because I know as a predominantly sort of Dracula player, how have you found the changes, and has it been strange to adapt? Do you like it, or do you find
I
things are more it's better for Dracula now? How do you find?
I
How have you
well, it's
found it all?
definitely it's definitely an advantage for Dracula for sure. Um, the one nerf that the updates gave to Dracula was that in combats, you're not told which of the hunter's item cards are actually combat items anymore. So it's just you know how many item cards they have, but not whether or not any of those items could actually be used against you.
Hmm. And
So I think overall the update has been more beneficial to Dracula because having the trail slide before movement means you can get a wolf form or a feed or some other card, an important city back one turn early. And especially
mhm,
with the layer strategy, it means you can start like layering one turn sooner.
right, okay. So that
What are the
just
overall statistics? Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that more or less everything you said kind of less mirrors a lot of the things I've heard from other people, especially like when Sakajek was talking about the update and stuff. So that all seems to be fairly in line. I was just interested. You're saying like the combat screen. Have you really noticed that as a huge thing? Were you really gaining a lot of information from the combat screen before, and now you've lost all
It's been
that
a while
info?
since I've played it with the old way where it did tell you which card, how many combat cards they had. Um, so it's hard to judge exactly how much of an advantage it is to have that. I don't think it's definitely not as big a disadvantage as it is an advantage to have the trail slide early, in my opinion. So overall, it was a net positive for Dracula.
Okay.
But it was helpful to know whether or not a hunter could effectively do anything against you in combat. Like if you go into a combat with a hunter and it doesn't, the hunter, you know, the hunter doesn't have any combat items. That means you can pretty much go ham in the combat.
Mm-hmm. Was now to be about the
Otherwise,
quarters and trying to
yeah.
work it out
Now,
during the combat.
exactly. Now, if you go into combat, it just tells you, okay, the hunter has 3 items and you don't know what they are. You have to play much more defensively initially until you have a better idea of what they've got in their hand.
Right. I guess use the discard pile more to your advantage.
Yeah,
Hypnosis on Mina, by the way. There was a Mystic Research but got traded across. Well, I assume it
yeah.
did.
I'm
I hope it
assuming.
didn't get discarded.
Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah, Van Helsing's probably gonna use that soon. If he didn't already, I missed it. Okay, no, he hasn't used it. He has pulled 2 hired scouts and an evil presence, which is not great this early in the game.
No, I didn't know what the first one was. But the second one was in Sofia and Constanta, which obviously negative.
I didn't actually look where he chose for hired scouts.
Hello, Gyro. Hello, Strider in the chat. Welcome, welcome.
Right, so he did check Sofia and Constanta.
Yeah.
Okay. So unless he went like Valona or Athens, he's probably not in Baltica then.
No, probably not. I'm kind of surprised he checked something like the extremity like Constanta and then Sofia.
That's
I'd rather.
actually helpful because I actually managed to find someone in one of my recent games in Constanta with hired scouts like that. Because Sofia and Bucharest are the typical ones you would check because they're more central. So if you get one early, oftentimes Dracula will try and stay in the more extremity ones like Constanta or Varna.
Right. And then maybe only move to something like Sofia once it got searched. Because they're never going to
Yeah,
search it again
or if they
immediately.
or if it got to the point where they just had to move on.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to ask about win rates. I think that was. Can I cut you off?
Yes, sorry, that's where I was going. What are the official statistics on the win rates since like the Immortal update dropped?
Or since the Immortal update drop, I can't remember what the win rate from the Immortal Invitational was. We do have it. I just don't know off the top of my head. But with the 144 games that were played in the league phase for this tournament, um, it's about 55-56% in Dracula's favor, and it's pretty consistent across all the phases. I fought for phase 3 and 4 because it wasn't going to be like a random draw, but people grouped up based upon a more like ranking slash ability. In theory, I thought then the win rate might shift, but it's been consistent all the way through.
Interesting. So we
Yeah,
do have a slight, not a huge, but it's still a slight Dracula advantage on the win rates.
right.
Before the update, wasn't it kind of the opposite? It was slightly slanted in favor of the hunters.
Yeah, I think the very first League of Dracula we did, it was slightly in Dracula's favor, but small, about 52%. But then with all the tournaments
Okay.
since, it then shifted slowly towards the Hunter favor. I think by the end it was maybe like 53% in the Hunter's favor. But then the
Yeah, but
Immortal Invitational, well, the Immortal update dropped. Um, I can't remember what
oh,
the
interesting. He's moving Godalming.
to scan.
That would be my guess because he's probably searched. I mean, he's definitely searched Baltica at least once. I don't remember what he did with the other hired scouts. He's been scanning Austria-Hungaria, so it's quite likely that Dracula isn't in the east.
Right, but Gyra's asking Athens in the chat. Is there a way he
I
could have gone to Athens but not gone through Sofia yet? With all the scannings he's done?
no, not at this point. No,
I wasn't
like
paying attention
because
to
you've got
how often they were
Athens.
scanning.
So the 3 cities he could have been in would have been Athens, Valona, and Salonika,
Right. So that's 4 of them.
and then he would have had to go to Sofia, and then he could have hidden. So that would be four cards on the trail at most. So actually,
He could
he
be in
could
Sofia
have
now.
just moved into Sofia theoretically, yes.
Right. There's the Mystic
But again,
Research.
I don't remember where he checked with the other hired scouts, so it's possible he checked Valona and or Athens.
Didn't see it. Okay. 3 Dracula cards have been added because of the Mystic Research, but nothing exceedingly powerful. Hidden Schemes could potentially be, depending when that gets played.
That's a great one if you're pursuing a layer strategy.
Yeah. Or even if you're not, if you have a vampire down, which is rumored, and then you just throw another vampire down once it slides to
Yeah,
third space. Especially by then, if you've ascertained that there aren't many stakes, or the hunters are slightly mispositioned, or whatever, you could then rumor it and throw down the second vampire on the same turn. Hmm. I think it's interesting. I don't know how you feel about this. Obviously, both you and I have never played a knockout tournament before, but it's also trying to think about for the knockout rounds the sort of the strategy in terms of what side you pick first if you're the highest seed, right? So Snuff was the highest seed here, and has chosen to go as Dracula. Snuff has an equal win rate of both sides in this tournament, but Geo has won more games as Dracula compared to Hunters. So it seems to be a case of, do you pick your strongest role? Do you try to go against
Oh, there's
your
another hired
opponents?
scouts.
Oh, might find him now.
That's hard getting all three hired scouts when you getting three hired scouts when you don't really know where Dracula is.
I mean, Snuff does like maybe like a non-Barcelona type start, so maybe something like that. No, not Amsterdam. So,
I mean,
sorry, I said
he did
Amsterdam.
get that evil presence earlier
Yeah.
on. Well, I mean, it was earlier on, so Dracula could have theoretically moved into Spain since then, but
Hmm.
he wasn't in there to begin with. Although
Is
Barcelona, yeah, Barcelona, he could have started Barcelona and then moved out up through France.
right.
Not in
Not Germany.
Germania.
Could it be Italy? Is that? Yeah. I mean, it could well be.
I'm Again, I don't remember where that first hired scouts was used to check, but he could definitely be down that way.
No, I don't know if I missed it. Oh my goodness, there's 11 people watching. Hello, everybody. Feel free to say hi in the chat. There's also the
He
thing,
may,
right? Oh, sorry, I go.
yeah, I was gonna say he may have to wait until. I mean, I imagine that first card is going to mature at this point, and then if it is a vampire, that will at least give some ideas to Dracula's current location. There was a debate in one of the chats a while back as to whether or not maturing a rumored vampire as the first encounter was a great move for Dracula, because yeah, it does get him over halfway to victory, but at the same time, it does somewhat reveal his location and means the hunters don't have to worry about clearing the next three hideouts and can focus more on him.
So, I guess if Snuff wanted to, he could throw down. He could layer this and then go back to it, so it becomes a triple encounter with a rumor token. He could throw another rumor
With a
token
room
down
token on
later.
it, yeah.
Right. But
That was
I,
another thing that the update changed was the rumor tokens stay.
yes, which is very strong. But I think it's a nice. It gives it an extra layer, like an extra layer of complexity to Dracula play, which is good. Um,
It also incentivizes the hunters to actually actively deal with layers before Dracula can revisit them,
yeah,
so that it would clear off a rumor token.
I don't like that Naples search because he could have still been in Bari but avoided Naples. I'd have checked Rome or Florence to rule that out.
Yeah.
Um, I think the problem is though, does Snuff want to mature this vampire to get the early points and put Geo under pressure? Has Snuff even created a trail where he can even return to that rumor token to go back to it easily?
And then there's a question of whether or not it's a vampire at all, or just a bluff that he assumed that Snuff would have found by this point.
Yeah, because I guess Snuff would have been expected to be found.
Yeah, that's always one of the most annoying things as Dracula, when you lay down a trap like that early on, and the hunters just don't draw newspapers and don't find it in time.
Hello, Quincy, and hello, Strider. It's Marseille. Could be. It can't be Britannica because the trail's too long. Maybe it is Iberian. He got very lucky and he evaded the evil presence. And then there's the argument then, does Mina play this hypnosis or not? I know there are a lot of people who do play the early hypnosis when they don't get newspaper. They start to panic about where Dracula is. I don't personally like it. I don't know if you've got any thoughts on that.
It really just depends on how early the hypnosis is drawn. Like at this point, you might just be better off waiting to see if that card matures to get an idea of where Dracula is before playing it. If you get hypnosis in like the first round, then maybe it's worth it. So you can know pretty much where Dracula started.
Oh, day trade. Well, they got Mystic Research. They could do a night supply, but
Seems odd that they would not if they were going to supply anyways. It seems odd that they would want to trade that now.
Yeah.
Because the only reason they do that is if Godalming absolutely needed an item for his night action, or Mina. Well, because then Godalming could have done a trade during his turn at night. But
Strider's
I can't
telling me
imagine
to.
that.
Oh, sorry. Strider's telling me to turn my mic
I was
on.
just, okay.
If I just move the mic closer to me, is that better?
Yeah, you are a little louder there.
Okay, that's fine. Because I find sometimes it goes off, this, especially if this crazy things start happening. Oh my goodness, 15 people watching. Oh my goodness. Hype is
Is
real.
this quite large following for one of your streams?
Oh yes. I think the highest we've had so far is 16.
Oh, there
Simultaneous.
goes a fog.
Oh, behind the fog. And you never know, Snuff might have put down the first one.
Yeah,
Maybe. But we might, if that vampire matures, then we won't know. So maybe that might be a reason you might want to mature that vampire. Because if there is a fog here, you want it to get discarded, and the hunters don't know that it's been discarded.
yeah, true. Unless the fog happens to be near where the hunters currently are and you want that fog to mature.
Mm-hmm. Especially if then Dracula does want to go back and start putting down triple encounters.
Yeah.
My problem is just like, it's just typical. You use hypnosis, and then Dracula just instantly wolf forms, and then you've lost all that
Yeah.
information.
It would depend on where Dracula was. If he was in Spain, then wolf forming doesn't do a whole lot of good.
No, unless it was a wolf form even deeper into Iberia, and the hunters might not expect
Mm.
that. They're expecting you to leave, and they're scrambling around trying to find a wolf form to something like Marseille or Bordeaux, or even slightly further into Geneva or something. But you've wolf formed further into the extremity. Yeah, big decision for Snuff. It does put the hunters under a lot of pressure, though, to be six or especially if it's 7 points down this early on.
Just psychic bonded, still not in Germania.
Um,
All right, now let's see what Geo does. Or sorry, no, Snuff here. Geo's playing hunters.
Hello, everybody. Oh, you've got a game in 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours, Strider. Yes, you do. Hello, Caro fan. Never seen you before. Yeah, Snuffaluffagus is playing as Drac. Or do you mean in the game that Strider's playing? In the game that we're playing right now, Snuff is playing as Dracula. In all the videos I've done for the tournament, you'll see the person with the H after the name is the hunter player. D is the one who's playing as Dracula.
Apparently not an easy decision here on what to do with this card.
No. No, not an
Which
easy
means
choice.
it's either not a vampire, and he's debating whether or not to make it a lair so he can revisit it, so that he doesn't waste the rumor, or it is
Right.
a vampire and he's debating whether or not it's worth clearing the next 3 cards to get 6 or 7 points.
Caravan, do you stream your Dracula playing? If you're talking to me, I don't normally stream my own gameplay, but I normally record my own videos, regardless if I'm playing Hunters or Drac. So if you go onto my channel and look in the video section, not in the live section, you'll find all of my games from the league, regardless if I win or lose. Yeah, I guess also too, if you do layer this and you want to return to it as soon as possible to get that rumor token on the trail. Nice maturing it.
Nope, it is a vampire. Oh, he did go Athens.
Oh,
So he did just move into Sophia. I think that one time we were talking about it.
wow. Wow, if he only he'd searched for Lone or not, Sophia, he would have found him. Okay. It's always happens. Yeah, that's right. In a couple of hours' time, there's a match: Terminus versus Strider. Might be a bit too late for me to watch. Oh, maybe not. Maybe to watch it before I go to sleep. Maybe 7 points is 7 points, says Roscoe, and you're not wrong.
That is, in fact, how the reflexive property of equality works. At least I think
Obviously,
it's the reflexive property.
you're not happy about it though. You wanted to see him running around all of the East, just laying down triple encounters everywhere.
Well, it is definitely more exciting that way. But it is he's not in a bad position because he started moving away from the east, so it's going to be hard for him to get back there because no one's on a convenient rail line eastward right now.
Right. Unless they've got
Uh,
who's got horses is the question.
yeah, it'll depend on what their horse economy is like. But at any rate, he's still in the far east probably, and he has no hunters that are capable of immediately dealing with that. Oh, there's a newspaper. Yeah,
Oh,
there's Sophia.
oh wow. And if only if he'd supplied, I think they missed a supply out because of that trade. So if Mina had supplied yesterday, she would have
Well,
should have
also
got
when
it.
they moved over to Munich.
Yes, right. So that's
So if they
three
just stayed
supplies
in
they
Vienna and
missed.
supplied, yeah.
Yeah, so they would have got that newspaper. So this is why don't move, people. Just keep supplying because you'll get the stuff eventually. In terms of distance, he's equidistant here. Oh yeah, Ro Roscoe's wanting Snuff to win as his Immortal Invitational teammate, and then by the same token, I kind of want Geo to win. But it's also hard because Snuff is fellow admin. Carafan's asking, do we have any more games after that game? I don't think there are any more games tonight, but there are loads more. This tournament's still ongoing. So yeah. If you're a member of the Nomad Discord community, Carafan, then you actually see we always post the links in there. And it doesn't matter if it's me or other people who are streaming, you'll be able to see the links. He should have misdirected Sophia. I don't know.
Did he? I would have, if he was going to misdirect something, I'd misdirect the one after Sophia.
Right.
Because the hunters already know he was in Sophia.
Well, I guess he could do
Misdirecting
that.
that really doesn't help him.
I guess they could do that now, I suppose. Because he could
I'm
have
just
done
wondering what
it
the
yesterday.
point of. Oh, misdirected it.
Because
Oh, maybe.
it would have been his previous location, right? So
Yeah.
he could misdirect it now.
I mean, misdirecting it now really is kind of pointless. The hunters already know he was there. You might as well leave the encounter card on this so the hunters have to deal with it or let it mature.
Yeah. And imagine now if you just throw down a rumor token instantly onto that third space. Well, when it slides, the thing after
This is an
Sophia.
interesting one. You could search with Rufus here, and that could be helpful to see where it went from Sophia.
Unless you want to ally him, because if you can force him out to sea, he'll take a little bit more damage that way.
If he's got a surprising return on one of his hunters, then it's probably better to search. Because then he could always surprising return him back into play if Dracula does go to sea.
Right. Not Valona, so he didn't go back in that
Lona.
direction. Ah, okay, I understand what he's trying to say. He's saying to misdirect Sophia so then newspaper doesn't hit it. I guess
Oh,
he did
so he's saying he should have done it like last turn.
right, so they wouldn't have known. But I guess he was in the east anyway.
Yeah. So probably better to just have the extra encounter card for the hunters to deal with, probably.
What's Carafan saying? It's very scary when seasoned players ask to play. Ah, don't worry. I like to think we're a friendly bunch. We like to help you out. And depending what role you want to play, if you wanted to play as hunters, then remember a lot of the advanced rules for Dracula can be sort of turned down a bit. That's right, Carafan. Don't worry. If you want, feel free to send me a PM and we can maybe do like a practice game together at some point. But don't worry, I lost a lot of my early games, and it doesn't hurt.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
got my butt kicked thoroughly when I first joined the community.
Philly saying game beaten for a month straight before ever winning a game. Yeah, but that's the thing then. That's how you learn, as Phillies would say, that's how you learn how to play. And then when you do win for the first time, nobody can take that away from you. You've earned that.
I remember winning a game early against Quincy, who I think he was kind of well known for strategies, or at least theorizing about strategies in the game. It was an upset win that I managed to like escape his bat from Munich at one point, and that just kind of threw him off for the rest of the game. And there was one point where I won the game by misdirecting a space where a hunter was, so I could move there and attack him to kill him and get the last points I needed.
Oh, nice. Don't try that at home, folks. That's not it's standard strategy. That if it works, it works, but it doesn't always work, unfortunately.
It felt epic at the time since I was still relatively new to the community.
Hey, nobody can take that first win away. Right, exactly right. Strider say finished 2 wins, 8 losses in the first tournament, but then Strider won the New Blood Championship and is now number 6 seed in this for the knockouts. We're all on the same journey trying to get better. Oh, he's mentioning the anti-Scots. He wins too much. Look who won the previous league and is now top of this league. Okay. Anyway. At least we got 2 horses. Yeah, nice horse. Yeah, no second Ruber. I'm really surprised he didn't throw that down really quickly. Just to try and put pressure.
No
I
second what?
guess second Rumor just to try and panic the hunters a bit, but then there's only 1 stake in discard.
Well, he knows Mina's over there, and he knows Mina has a stake, so maybe he doesn't want that to happen.
Right. And especially if it's not Valona, then wherever it is going to be on the rail line. So yeah, she can, even if she doesn't have a horse, she can probably get there.
Could have gone to 49 after Sophia.
Because by that point they're in Munich, right?
I'm trying to remember if they moved to Munich before or after he would have moved off Sophia.
I think it was after. I think Sarajevo was safe from the psychic scan because they'd moved across to Munich by then. So he could be maybe in Belgrade or Bucharest now.
Was it really worth checking Valona? I don't know that he could have gotten back there. Because Valona didn't get cleared off the trail until after he would have moved off Sophia, I think.
Right, because the Athens thing had to mature.
I just more wanted to check whether or not he. Yeah, I was just maybe wanted to check to see if he had looped back around to like 649 and then down to 55 after the vampire matured.
I think searching something like Bucharest would have told you a lot of information.
Yeah.
It was a day ago. Ah, Carafan is talking about the using seduction on Mina. That's a good feeling.
Oh
When
yeah,
that happens.
that's yeah. Yeah, that's always a great feeling when if you get the seduction.
Wolfom.
Wolfing. Interesting.
Oh,
I'd
Quincy
have thought he
remembers
might.
when you
Oh,
killed him.
there's the row.
Oh, there's a rumor.
Oh really? Is he watching?
Yeah, he says, I think I remember that moment. I was thinking, I sure hope he doesn't know he can misdirect that location and attack me. Then he did it. I was like, oh, dang it. Got him good. Is there any Could he have wolf formed? Wait, did they psychic scan Austria-Hungaria last night? I missed that.
I missed it too.
Because if they didn't, he could have wolf formed past Seward and Mina. If they did do it and it was negative, then he can't have got west.
I feel like if they had scanned, then there's not that much point in using the wolf form because, I mean, unless they knew he was in Austria-Hungary. I feel like we would have noticed it if we saw the all caps exclamation
R-
that Dracula is in Austro-Hungary.
right. So I guess the question is, so it wasn't positive. The question is, was it negative? Did they
Yeah,
scan and it was negative?
if it was negative, I don't really think Dracula would have, or at least should have, wolfed because that he would have been far enough east where the hunters weren't an immediate threat, and
Hmm.
wolfing, given that they don't know that much about where he is currently, wolfing really wouldn't have been worth it. It would have been better to hold on to it in case he went to sea and then wolfed ashore.
Unless he's looking, maybe he's inland and he's worried about getting jumped on renewed vigor, so he's wolf formed to a port now and can stay on a coastline in case he needs to make a quick escape.
Or he was, yeah, wolfing past. He just needed wolf to go past a layer that was already down, or not a
That,
layer,
oh
a
right,
hideout.
right, that's also
Like
possible.
like he could have been in, I don't know, theoretically in Bucharest. Like he goes up through Varna, Constanta, and then Bucharest, and then he wolfs to get down back down to Valona.
Right, or Salonika, yeah, yeah, because he doesn't want to misdirect the Sofia thing. Yeah, that makes sense.
And he wants to get out through the Ionian Sea because in the Ionian Sea he can just move one by sea, and then he's either three possible locations he could be at that point.
So
Although
Mina
using
uses
the
where's
wolf
Mina
form
going?
though, normally you want to save that for when you go ashore.
I guess if he uses it now, if he's able to move, say, Salonika, Valona, Athens, and maybe a Hyde, and then go to sea, by the time he gets to sort of Tyrrhenian or Adriatic, his wolf form will be coming back, so he might not miss it if he's not forced out to sea extremely early. Maybe.
I don't know. He would have to use like feed or dark hull or hide or something to. I feel like, or the vampire, or a vampire would have to mature.
I don't really like it that Mina's child carries to Sofia because Godalming is adjacent to Sofia. He could have checked that tomorrow. What's Godalming going to do tomorrow now?
Or Bologna, maybe.
But imagine if he's not there. Well, maybe. If he's in Salonika, he might move into Valona tomorrow.
Ooh, that's interesting.
No.
Okay, so
Well,
he only
he.
hasn't hidden yet.
Yeah. I thought he checked that before the wolf forms. That'd be impossible. Congrats on 200 views. Thank you, Strider. Yeah, I mean subs. What if Mina uses this stake and then it gets, you know, used up by whatever's on this room?
Yeah.
How do they do with the rumor token then?
Well, it's possible that Seward and or Godalming has a stake as well, because there's currently only one in the discard pile, and there's only two cards left to draw. So at least one of the other hunt. No, actually, unless both of the remaining cards in the draw pile are stakes, at least there has to be at least one other stake out there.
Yeah, Mina has a stake. Okay, in this case, it hasn't been used up. But then, what if that was a hoax or a small vampire? Then, yeah,
Then
then they're
yeah,
gonna
you.
they're spending more hunter movement dealing with this. Wolfform hide? I don't think so.
I've seen it used against me in a game recently, I think.
I used it against Snuff as well. On Cagliari of all places.
Does Oh, Amina doesn't have, or at least I don't feel like there's any point to not revealing the Heavenly Host to get rid of that.
I never know if
Because
he's. Oh yeah, because of the way the trail works now, he has to go to sea for that to be a benefit, right?
yeah, there he
Ah,
goes.
Oh, there you go. It's okay. So you do benefit then. So it must be Solanka or Valona then. I'm really surprised
Either
that you.
that or he that's assuming he did go up that way. It's possible he could have gone like 6, 28, 22, and then Wolf to like 17 and could be in the Black Sea.
Right.
Although uh, although 55 or 46 is probably more likely.
Ah, there goes Rufus.
Yep.
So you all remember the cards. Yeah, pretty much. The Dracula card's a little bit harder because we don't see in our
Yeah,
meta.
because we barely see those.
You barely see them. You go most games without seeing any Dracula events. Um, but yeah, I mean the Hunter events we all know like from memory. I
That's
mean,
the Hunter events that come out are basically what determines how the game plays out.
yeah, if it's a Dracula event, then it just makes it more spicy. Nowhere to
Oh,
run.
interesting.
Yeah, maybe he had boxed himself in. Maybe he was worried about moving to Valone and then he gets jumped on by 3 hunters with like a renewed vigor or something.
The problem is he's probably not going to have his wolf form back by the time he goes to shore, unless
Not
yeah, I
anymore.
mean he'd have to go on a really long trip, and with Rufus in play, that's not ideal.
Unless a vamp matures. If the thing after Sophia is a
Unless
vamp.
yeah, okay, so yeah, he probably did go Varna, Constanta, and then to Bucharest,
Right,
and then Wolf down into
unless it could
Varna, Salonika.
be Klausenberg is the rumor token. That's also a possibility. But yeah, I think it makes more sense what you're suggesting. You put the
Yeah,
vampire in the extremity of the Black Sea and then wolf form to Salonika and then
Godalming must have a heavenly host.
right. But because Mina went there, now Dracula's obtained 3 additional cards from all that.
Yeah,
Not really worth it, but okay. Oh, the
I
chat
don't know.
are
Is it?
hypothesizing. Oh, sorry, the chat are hypothesizing whether Dracula's going to land in Cagliari because he has no wolf form to wolf form from Med or Turinian, so he has to stop off to delay the wolf form. How do you feel
Oh,
about
that's a
that?
possibility. I mean, that allows him to go one space and then go to shore. So Geo won't know for sure which sea he's gone into, and so maybe it does keep the
Hmm.
hunter in the dark for a little bit and gives him opportunity to feed and delay the wolf until the wolf form comes back. And it's also relatively safe because even in the event that the hunters did have consecrated ground, they couldn't. The best they could do is just force him to continue on into the Mediterranean.
Right. Promise. How much risk is there now that you go to Cagliari and then you get jumped on by double excellent weather and renewed vigor play?
Yeah,
There's a stake
tell you that
going.
renewed vigor that can kill you if you're Dracula.
Why was the Speedy Telegraph played?
I think because he wanted to move Mina first and see if what Bucharest showed.
I
Maybe he
don't know if
just
that
wanted to get rid of a card.
I don't know. I don't know if that's worth Speedy Telegraph to be honest. Hmm. No guarantee that Snuff has second fog, or maybe he played his second fog in wherever the last space is, Salonika or Valona,
Yeah,
and he's not gonna get the third one back, for quite a while.
I don't know. He just got 6 cards off of
Yeah, he did.
that desecrated soil.
Did he discard 3 every time? Let's
Be
see.
hilarious
Yeah,
if the rumor token was another desecrated soil.
right. Especially if Mina's one has to go and deal with that. Yeah. Problem is, Sud's moved backwards. So if he's only onto the stake, they've only got 1 stake now in the east, which is very precarious if now Mina searches this thing without it. Roscoe did say that they do have hypnosis, which is a benefit. I guess the question is when they're going to get the timing
Yeah,
right to use it. That's why you need Speedy Telegraph, I feel, to play that hypnosis, because that really will then dictate what Seward and Van
yeah.
Helsing can do on their turn.
Maybe he's got another speedy telegraph.
It's possible. Yeah.
There's only the two, right?
Yes. He didn't discard the other one, did he? No. He's going to use one. Aggie and discard pile. One charge carriage being used. But more or less, Hunters have good stuff. I assume they're holding on to good stuff.
Okay, there's the expected second ocean, so I would assume he went to the end from 46 or 55.
Good question in the chat. If you have hypnosis, should you mention it or keep it secret? Well, in this case, Snuff had no real chance to keep it secret because it was the first card that Mina drew. So it automatically got revealed. So that's not Snuff's fault. In general, I'd say keep it secret.
You mean like in a game with multiple hunter players?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say so. There are some cool things you can do with hypnosis where you can show it on Mina to Dracula, and then that will force Dracula to kind of be like, okay, I'm going to try and make you use it early, but then you might be able to pounce on him because you'll make sort of a suboptimal sort of move by C or something, and you might be able to pounce on him. But then also then Dracula can use it to his advantage as well, where he'll do something like this, move 2C moves. They use hypnosis to find out where he is. And then he does something like a wolf form to Mediterranean, or wolf form from Mediterranean, where you really need hypnosis. But then they don't have it. Oh, did I misspeak? I meant Geo. Sorry, I'm so used to Geo playing as Dracula. Yes, I meant Snuff. I meant Geo. Sorry, Geo had no choice. The hypnosis was the first card he
Oh,
obtained.
Godalming does have the other stake.
Oh, wow. Okay. Fair enough.
There is one vamp down.
Keep it secret, keep it safe.
That's exactly the phrase that went through my mind when you said that.
Yeah, especially if there's a vampiric influence, that could potentially ruin Mina's day. But sometimes you can't. I mean, in this tournament, we've actually seen Mina's ability reveal a lot of powerful things. I've seen Consecrated Ground being revealed. I've seen Renewed Vigor revealed about 3 or 4 times. So, you know.
Okay, well, Gio was able to deal with both of those vampires pretty efficiently, so that's something. It
Right.
also means that Snuff is not getting his wolf form back early. I mean, unless he put a third vampire in Bucharest.
Right. And he wouldn't ambush Mina with it because he would want to bait her into a night fight later.
Okay, so there he's going to shore, so is that the Cagliari play? So he definitely didn't go to the Black Sea, so we know that much. So he either went Adriatic, Ionian, and is now in 46 or 3, or he went from 46 to the Ionian and went to the Tyrrhenian Sea or the Adriatic and went ashore.
Right, right. I really don't like the Adriatic to Ionian move, especially when you've got 2 hunters in here. And you haven't got a lot of
Yeah,
room to maneuver. So it's probably Tyrrhenian.
that would be my guess. Question is, would he have gone into Italy proper, or would he have gone into Cagliari?
Hmm. Or could it even be something, a ruse like Venice, and then might be able to sneak past Seward into the center of the map and then wolf form later?
Yeah. Or even possibly escape as bad if Seward does wander into 57 to check.
Okay, Godalming can
Okay, well,
check if it's Slonko Valona.
yeah.
Oh, nope, never mind.
Or he could just do that.
I guess because Mina's probably not equipped.
Uh,
Yeah, that's true. Jellyfish in the chat, we're talking about. There's a conversation about vampiric influence, just based on my topic. The chat going off on one. That's good. That's fine. But yeah, the point is, yeah, Mina's normally the only hunter in the game who's bitten reliably because, in most cases, Dracula finds it very difficult to get the mesmerize fangs combo to work at night against a hunter, unless it's Mina. Um, because one bite doesn't really do anything to the other hunters, not really. Um, Normally get bites from using the fangs combat card against Heavenly Host. That's more common. But trying to get mesmerize and fangs is pretty difficult. It just depends on the situation.
Mina's got a horse too.
Yeah. Okay, she's just gonna head west. I don't mind that. Can Godalming deal with this though? That's the question. Oh, yes he can.
Yeah, he can.
Yes he
Oh,
can.
there's the other. There's the other desecrated soil. So that's 9 cards he's gotten off of his desecrated soil.
Maybe he would get. Maybe he might get another fog then, if that's the case. If he's gonna, if he hasn't, well, seemingly hasn't used. Oh, he kind of wants. If the fog is sitting in Salonica or Valona, Snuff kind of wants to try to get that triggered before his deck
Before
of
the
cards
yeah.
reshafts. But I don't think he's gonna be able to, unless he doesn't lair and then he feeds. Hmm. You got a lot of value out of that. You would have got more value out of it if Mina had gone there. If he'd ambushed her with ambushed Mina with it.
Yeah.
And he could have distracted Godalming from the Varna
And
vampire,
he could,
maybe.
because at that point he knew that Mina didn't even have the Heavenly
Yeah,
Host, didn't he?
yeah.
Yeah, at that
I know.
point there was no reason not to.
I guess he was worried that you're attracting attention to it, whereas maybe he thought he might be able to get it to mature,
Mm.
or that Mina would search it at night herself.
But yeah, getting that extra 3 health with Rufus on the board wouldn't be a bad idea.
Right. Because you wouldn't have to feed now necessarily, or you could feed anyway. Uh,
Yeah,
maybe.
because then he, uh, maybe not the best idea, but still.
Well, no, you could feed because then you could go back to C. If he's in Cagliari, you could go back to C, and then you get the feeding from the other one. But in the end, he's not going to.
Um,
Oh, interesting. Philly's saying that if I'm Dracula, I don't layer here because I don't want to telegraph that the wolf form card is a fog. Interesting.
I'm sorry, can you explain that again? What did he
So,
say?
so we're saying our idea is if you want to try and get both fogs, if it is a fog in Salonica or Valona, and he wants to get that fog into the discard pile, he needs it to get triggered before his deck resets. So the only way he can do that is if he feeds tonight, and then also he doesn't layer whatever um, location.
Bucharest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Bucharest location. Um, I would say he doesn't layer. Oh, okay. I read that the other way around. Okay. Oh, I see. You're using it as a bluff. Okay. Philly's saying they use it as a bluff. You say to the hunters, "Oh, there's a fog in Salonica because I'm trying to reset my deck. Godalming, don't go and check it," and then it's something else. No, I'm mostly joking, he says. Do you know any good tutorial about using layers? We don't have a layer tutorial. I keep meaning to get a Dracula tips and tricks video out, but I just never got around to setting up the PowerPoint. But yeah, pretty much. Watch Spencer play or watch Wizakagic play Dracula, then I think you'll get a pretty good idea. I'm sure I can punt you a video, Carafan, where you can see Spencer just sending me and Roscoe round in circles with layers. I'm sure that'll be possible. Layers are good because they can help you sort of cycle through your deck. If there are encounter cards you don't want, you can just shove them into layers. But then there are other cool things you can do. You can set up lots of really nasty traps with
Oh yeah.
layers. Put bats into layers, and then you can ambush hunters that walk into them, and then punt them back into vampires at night. I've in
That's one of my personal favorites.
It's a good one. It is a nice one, especially if it's meaner and it's like a
Yeah,
reckless. You can get so many points out of it.
especially if you can through either the hide card or layering, you can get a double or even a triple vampire stack in one city.
Mm-hmm. Snuff likes doing a layer, like a chain of bats. So you're going to do, there's only two bat cards, but you bat one of them, a bat into a layer, punt them back into another location with bats, and then punt them back again. So there's one hunter, especially if it's like Seward, is just stuck for
That
ages and he just can't do anything.
because the second bats doesn't take effect until the hunter is no longer delayed, right?
I think so. Yeah, I'm not quite sure on the timing of it,
Oh,
but that's
that's
probably
interesting. You could
2 or 3 days. He can't do anything.
That would be great if you could punt someone, use bats, punt them into a layer with like a couple vampires and another bat, so that they get that combat and then just get punted into more vampires later.
Oh, should I say use wax cylinders to check the Salonica encounter?
Doesn't he have to know where it is first, or can you look at to see?
Hmm.
Doesn't the hideout have to be revealed for him to be able to check it with max
Nope,
cylinders? Or
nope, no. It just flips the encounter card. It doesn't flip the location.
okay, so he'd know what's there, but he wouldn't know where it was exactly.
Right, right. So you could find out it's a hoax or a fog or whatever, but you don't know which of the two it is. And the problem is then Kadami's got a 50-50 choice tomorrow. I think it's more likely
Now,
to be
but
Ionian.
now I would use wax cylinders now to see if he's in Cagliari.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a surprise.
There's a comment in the chat that says, so when you play through Dracula, you can play as an asshole. Yes.
I mean,
It's
that's kind of what being Dracula is all about, isn't it?
Yeah, it's called Fury of Dracula, for goodness sake, right? That's the idea. You're supposed to
It's
make the
not called
hunters' lives miserable.
it's not called kindness of Dracula.
Exactly. He's not a nice man. That's the point. No, you can't do triple bats. There are only two bats in the card, but you could easily do like
Yeah,
one bat into another bat and then into vampires, or bat and then into fog or something.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. There's lots of cool stuff you could do. There's probably loads of things we've never seen before in terms of combos you can do. It all depends on the game
yeah.
state as well.
Bats are easily one of the better Dracula cards. Their only downside is that they have no mature effect.
Right. And it's always typical. I ran about this a lot. Every time that I'm playing as Dracula and the hunter player chooses to leave one of the cards to mature, it's always the
It's always
bats.
bats.
Always. Oh man, it drives me
Well,
nuts every
bats is
time.
one of those cards that makes hunters think twice about checking every single hideout because there's no downside to not checking bats.
Right. But if you check it, you could be in a world of hurt if you're not careful.
Yeah, exactly.
At least you know it's in Cagliari now. Probably not a huge surprise, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, that was kind of obvious. I mean, not obvious, but it was definitely likely. So that means 46 was definitely the wolf form location.
Right. But what happens if Godalming rolls slow and can't get there? Or maybe he doesn't check it anyway. Maybe he thinks it's a fog.
Yeah, in which case, well, I mean, the deck's already recycled, so it doesn't matter now. They could have just put the fog in Cagliari, so.
But maybe you layer it instead of just maturing it because
Yeah,
then the hunters don't know you've used it.
yeah. I mean, because maturing it's not. It would just trap Godalming for a couple rounds, which honestly wouldn't be
Oh, he's
that.
going to check. He's going to check it
Right.
anyway,
He's
so
gonna check it
it's
anyway.
irrelevant.
Interesting. Hold on. Interesting rules question here. What if theoretically, if Salonica was a vampire and it did mature,
Yep.
What would happen to Cagliari on the trail because Dracula's still located there?
Good point. But I guess he would. Oh, yeah. A really quirky rule because technically Dracula always has to have a location, but in this case the
Yeah.
location will be removed. So I guess he would still be viewing it as being on. He would still be on Cagliari technically, and he'd have to move into Mediterranean or Tyrrhenian. Then he could go back onto Cagliari if he wanted to.
Would it get cleared or would it just remain on the trail? I'm wondering if the rulebook actually addresses that or not.
There is a rule in the yeah, exactly. It would turn into a phantom hide. That's true. But I guess it's not phantom because it's been revealed. But yeah, you're right, Strider. There is a thing in the rulebook that says that Dracula, if he has to ever clear the trail because of consecrated ground and all that stuff, um, his location, so it'd be Cagliari, is still on the trail. But because in this case it's a vampire maturing, I think it breaks that rule. So then technically Dracula is sort of locationless, but it's only he's still inside the same Dracula phase. So I don't think it's a problem. It's not as if it's going between two phases. It's still within the same phase.
Take a look at the rules reference while I'm waiting.
Quincy's saying this was addressed and Calorie would not clear. I don't believe that's true. And if that's something, that's not something that I'm aware of as being in digital. It wouldn't be a Dracula error because it's not Dracula's fault, right? It's not like he's committed an illegal move. Okay, let's see. There's a vampire. Right, let's find out, folks. Will the game crash and break in a burning heap in
Oh,
front
it
of
is a
us?
vampire.
Yep. And he's only got dogs and horses plus something else. Oh, Heavenly Host, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there's no way he can
I
kill it then. Oh!
oh maybe. Can you magic a stake out of the deck?
Ah, but stake
Well,
wouldn't
actually, the
matter.
stake wouldn't make any difference at this point. Yeah.
No. So he would need to get some
Another
other.
heavenly host, maybe. Although there were none in the discard pile, so he wouldn't be able to get another one. Either way, the odds are. Unplanned ambush isn't bad. The odds are good that vampire could survive this. I think.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what he obtained as the other item, because there were no like knives and things in discard, so I'm really worried he's just end up with loads of dross from the lucky find. If he's picked up something really good with the Heavenly
A,
Host, he might be able to kill this.
a pistol would be a good one, just because he, in the event that the vampire tries to plot right off the bat, he can switch to the pistol.
Yes, yeah.
He won't have a holy bullets to go with it, but being able to block the plot and do 2 damage would be good.
Yeah, I'd kind of like that. And then he
That,
has the
that's
punch
honestly,
aura
yeah,
if need
because
be, but
plot
he
is
just Heavy
not.
Host.
Yeah,
Oh, there's
there's
a
the
lot of.
plot.
We'll find out. Ah, Quizzy saying it's not a Dracula error, it's a Hunter error. They all take 5 damage. We'll have to see.
He's thinking.
Roscoe saying message Snuff in game and ask him to dark call now, then we'll know. We don't need a dark call. Oh, he dark calls so he has no location. Right, I understand. Okay. No, poor
Plot is
Snuff.
actually not a bad response to a planned ambush.
Because you wouldn't want to play the Heavenly Host now, because now you've got this plotting, which is really awkward to try and deal with.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Do you give the vampire a free plot?
I don't think you do, because once the Heavenly Host gets played, the vampire's more likely
That's
just to pick up strength, right? And just block everything
yeah.
you can throw out.
Like for all we know, Godalming may not have even gotten a weapon or an item that's useful in combat.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the thing, because of the combat information screen now, we don't know. We don't know. He does have to try and kill this though, because if he doesn't, he's going to be in real issues. Because Dracula could just, well, with Rufus Smith, it's a bit awkward. But Dracula's in a much stronger position if this thing matures. Good mesmerize. Heavenly Host. Yeah, there it is.
Yep. Honestly, it's kind of surprising knowing that he had Heavenly Host that he would have done that.
Now
I
what?
guess now, though, I mean, I think strength is the best bet if he's got it.
Unless you Fang, because I don't think Kadami's picked up a knife, because there are no knives in discard.
Yeah,
Oh,
Fang's not bad. Strength isn't bad.
unless he has a crucifix.
Crucifix or garlic could be bad.
She's
Okay,
playing
there's
this.
strength. Oh, he did get a rifle.
Oh. Oh, okay, now you know he's got no items now.
Yeah, so now escape is bad or escape is missed if you got it, is the
Oh,
play.
I really don't like that rifle play there. Because Fangs would be good into that. Mesmerize is good into that. Strength is really good into that. I think you should have dodged that round and then try to hit him this turn when he
When he
tries
could
to
have escaped
escape.
his bat, but now he knows
Yeah.
he's safe to escape his bat.
Oh, he
Oh,
Fangs,
maybe he
yeah.
doesn't have it.
That's fine,
Maybe
because
he's
he
just,
still
I mean, yeah,
survives.
but he's just trying to deal some damage before he leaves.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, yeah. You could even double claw now if you wanted
Well, at
to.
this point, yeah. Because at this point, all he's got to damage is the punch, right?
Yeah, he's got nothing. Because he kept that horse, right? So, yeah, there's vampires living.
I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with Cagliari.
He'll be
I'm
off the
still looking at the
board.
rules reference and I can't find anything.
The problem is it's going to be in two separate places, right? That's the issue. Right, okay, that's the problem. It's saying that Dracula must always have a location on the trail that is his current location. But the issue is, what happens if that location is removed because of a vampire? So you don't remove it? But then imagine if the hide was not
Yeah,
revealed, then you're giving the hunters free information that you've hidden. Because you
yeah,
can't.
because according to the rulebook, feed, hide, and dark call aren't considered his current location and are ignored.
Yes.
So Cagliari is still his current location.
But
I
you see what I
can't
mean,
find
right?
anything that says what happens if his current location would be cleared.
Because you see what I mean, right? Because hide, here it's upright, so we know it's a hide. But imagine that this hide was not a hide. Or it was.
Oh yeah,
But it looks like a normal location. If Dracula says, "Oh, I'm betraying this vampire, but I can't remove this thing on the third space of the trail,"
yeah, that
then
gives away information.
that's telling the hunters, "Oh, it's a hide card. That's after it because he's hasn't got that's his only location." So that seems unfair. So again, it's one of these really niche rules that again I think got overlooked. I think maybe the designers did not realize how popular Cagliari would be as a stopping off point. Snuff needs a
Yeah,
dark call for science. Oh man, I can't tell him that. Poor guy, he has a game to win. He can't afford it. He's busy enough as it is. He can't afford another game. Misdirect can't solve the problem because you can't misdirect C spaces. You cannot misdirect your current location. You can't misdirect something with a hide. So misdirect does nothing here. And yeah, Strider's right. The slide moves first. So then the Salonica thing gets removed and Cagliari. Well, unless he doesn't mature the vampire, but he would.
I mean, I can't find anything in the rules reference that explicitly addresses this situation. My best guess would be that Cagliari stays on the trail, but maybe the encounter gets discarded.
Right, let's see. We'll find out.
Okay.
There you go. No, you can never misdirect your current location. That's impossible. Even if you've got hide and thing after it. So look at that. Dracula is still on Cagliari.
I'm really interested to see if the game is going to bug out now.
I guess the question would be, would the game allow him to stay on Cagliari? But he has to move.
I mean, he still has Dark Call.
He could dark call.
And then he would just be locationless.
I guess because his token's on the board, you know where he is.
The thing is, it's showing us that, but does the game like actually recognize him as still being in Cagliari, or is that just a visual bug?
I don't think it's a problem because all of this is happening inside the same phase. It's not as if Dracula's going to go an entire day. Um,
Depends on whether or not he dark calls.
well, that's also true, right? But I guess
I'm almost tempted to
still,
tell him to dark call because I want to see what happens.
we can test this outside of stream, right? Snuff has the right
Yeah,
to,
that's
but
true.
we can
Yeah.
easily test this and see if it works or not. If Drac wasn't revealed, I wonder if this worked differently in digital. Yeah, good question. How many ways can you break this game in this stream? Not, to be fair, there's been a huge update
We're
to the
going for the
game.
world record right now.
To be fair, we've there's been a huge update to the game in the last few months, and it's actually removed a huge number of bugs and things from the game. The
Yeah,
only way
no,
the game
I,
breaks now is like with transition errors between turns, but all the cards and stuff work as intended now, more or less. There are a couple, but it's much better than it used to be. Oh, we got Spencer Wolfhart hype from Pizza Wizard for you.
what's that?
Pizza Wizard's hyping you up. Good to hear you commentating, he says.
Well, it's good to be here.
Right, so saying that the UI shows no Cagliari on the trail, but it thinks he's still there, so it shouldn't allow him to move there. But also, it's technically
Well,
not a move,
I
so
don't know. He seems to be taking a long time to take his turn. I'm wondering if it is bugged out, or if he's just thinking.
I think he's probably
Because,
thinking because he's probably trying to wander. Do you just go Mediterranean then
oh,
Wolf
because
form?
he can go to Terrenian. He can go back Terrenian now.
Right. So, but I guess he's thinking: do I go Mediterranean Wolf form, or do I go Tyrrhenian and then go Mediterranean or Ionian? But he's having to figure it out because of Rufus Smith being involved. He's probably trying to work out the
Yeah.
calculus.
Okay.
Can he just go to sea and run out the clock and then just land to win? I don't think he can. I don't think he's got enough time. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No, he can't. He hasn't got. There's not enough time for that. So he's going to have to do some sort of stop off.
He might be able to run it down. I don't know. How many more days we need to delay to run it down? Because he could go Terrenian, Mediterranean, South Atlantic, North Sea, English Channel.
He can only move 5 sea spaces maximum from his current position. So that's only
6.
Friday.
He can go
One,
6.
two, no. Mediterranean, South
So,
Atlantic, North
no.
Atlantic,
Go to
North Sea.
Terrenian, then the Mediterranean.
Ah, right, okay. So he'd be in English Channel or North Sea on
Yeah.
Saturday, and he's having to land, but he only have 1 health. He can make his move. I think if it was broken, stuff would have said it much quicker than that. Where is he though?
Okay.
They haven't used hypnosis. This is actually kind of. I'm not saying Snuff is gonna lose, but this is still a little bit scary because they've got the hypnosis. If they've got speed telegraph and maybe renewed vigor. I don't know. There's gonna be still got a week to go.
They could potentially buy themselves a little more time if they get Vampire Lair.
Yes. Yeah. Which is also very risky if Dracula tries to run out the clock because A, he's not gonna have enough time. Unless. Does he actually now go to Rinian Cagliari? He only
Why would
buys
he go
one
to
day out of it
Athens?
though.
Why the heck would he go to Athens?
I don't know. Good question. Oh, well, I guess he wants a supply and he's maybe trying to block off the east if Dracula's going to go
Oh,
back
yeah, yeah,
there.
yeah.
I don't mind that.
Because even just going 2 sea spaces here, because Dracula goes Terrenian, then moves one, he's either in Mediterranean or Ionian, and then Wolf forms, and then he could be on either side of the continent.
Yeah, imagine he didn't. If I mean, it wouldn't be possible with the timing, but because Feed and Hydra on the trail, going to Cagliari is not great. Snuff's gonna find it so funny when he watches this back, and he was trying to make agonizing decisions about what seed to go into, and all of us and the chat are just going, break the game, break the game, break the game. Poor guy. Godalming is grieving in Athens, yeah. You let that vampire slip away from him. And now Dracula's whole deck is reset. We didn't
And he
see any
used the
bats
Heavenly Host
either.
too.
Yeah. Yeah, use Heavenly Host so Consecrated Ground's not going to be as powerful.
Assuming he even has it.
Assuming he has it. We didn't see any bats. Maybe there were bats before the first vampire. But basically everything's on the table now. Yeah. Dig for vampire letters, Ariel. Yeah. That might be the way. The Hypnosis is huge, though.
Oh
Really gives...
yeah, so that makes the Terrenian and then going to Terrenian and then Mediterranean Ionian before he gets a shore not as powerful because he can just use Hypnosis to figure out where he went.
So what would you do then? If they've got... You know they've got the Hypnosis in play. Would you try to bait out the Hypnosis somehow? I'm not quite sure how you would do
Maybe
that in
go
this situation.
east because there's not as big of a hunter presence there. And as long as they're going to find out where you are anyways, he's got 3 layers ready to go in the east.
You just wanted to go back to layers, don't you? I mean, it
Well,
might
I
not be a
mean,
bad
that's not...
idea.
Yeah, because he's got that. The only downside is that does telegraph his exact location, which is not ideal in the event that they do have consecrated ground.
Hold your horses, folks. He's just landed. Has he actually gone back to Cagliari?
He could have.
1, 2, 3, 6, 7. So there are 15 Dracula cards in discard pile Fang, so there are 10 in total, so more or less normal odds in terms of drawing them.
Well, he'll be able to find out pretty quickly if he went to Italia. If Mina's there.
Oh, or you just
Oh,
search it.
he's gonna check.
But is he going to check it, though? Hi!
Uh,
What was it? Oh, what was it?
the question is though, which sea zone did he go into?
Ah,
Because
right,
that's
okay.
gonna limit what his next move is.
Yes, yeah. I guess Terrenian would be better because then you'd be able to go Mediterranean wolf form.
Yeah.
That'd be advent. Unless you do that to fake. Because what you
I mean,
could
even
do,
even going east, Terrenian, Ionian, Adriatic wolf form is still also quite powerful.
unless he just goes one sea space, let's say he goes to Terrenian then wolf forms, trying to trick the Huns it's Mediterranean, they use hypnosis and discover it's Italia, and they think it's Geneva or Zurich, but meanwhile he's wolf formed to Venice, and he might be able to sneak down into the boot, get away from them for a bit, or go up
Yeah.
through Munich. He might be able to work around them. Risky,
He
very
might just
risky though.
go... Yeah, he might try and go a few sea zones toward the British Isles too, just to eat up more time, while the hunters now suddenly have this vampire they got to deal with in Cagliari.
Right, but the thing is, he only needs one hunt to go and deal with that. You never know. Godalming might supply a stake. He can go off and deal with it. And then the more damage
Currently,
he's
there
taking by
are
sea.
3 stakes in the discard.
But with Godalming's ability, he might just
I mean,
reshuffle.
it might already be out there on one of the other 3, though. And if it's on Van Helsing already, then it's not going to be that hard to deal with.
But the more damage he's taking then, he puts him in danger of heroic
Yeah,
leap and consecrated ground and all these sort of
yeah.
things.
He's really debating whether or not to send Van Helsing to C there.
Risky sending him in alone. If you had a renewed vigor, you can maybe get Mina in as well.
I mean, he could send him to C because Dracula's almost certainly going to have to move off this turn. Either that or Dark Call, which just damages him even more.
Yeah, exactly. Use wax cylinders, yeah, to reveal the encounters he knows as a vampire or not. Yeah, good call, chat. Wednesday, Dark Call. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10 damage. He'll be on 1 health, Philly. So he could get CG'd and he'd die at sea. Yeah, the chat is screaming for wax cylinders deduction here. We know it's your favorite card, Roscoe. Calm yourself.
I mean, he might as well. Like, at this point, I don't think Wax Cylinders is going to be helpful anywhere else.
No, not for the analysis part. I think deduction here is actually a very good choice. Especially, it will really tell you what it is and who needs to deal with it. Money Trail CG, yeah, it'd be brutal. Even Hypnosis would be enough. If he... Oh no, if they had Vampire Lair, he lands. Well, it depends on the timing, right? Because he's at Sunday C. They have Vampire Lair and then they could CG him off. It might be too much. Yeah. I don't think he can do that. I think he's going to have to either go Mediterranean wolf form or he's going to have to go into Turidian to and then wolf form to fake that it's Mediterranean. I don't know which is the better option. He didn't use the deduction. Did Buxton just get discarded?
I'm sure Chad is cursing his name now.
Oh, they're still on like the there's a delay to the stream, so they've only just seen Mina's day move, so they haven't seen him not use it yet.
They'll be cursing him in a few seconds.
Mystic Rita's already been used, Ariel. Just dig like crazy for Money Trail and Consecrated Ground. Yeah. I think going to Cagliari was a mistake. They can ignore it. Even
At
if
this
it's a
point, he
vamp.
might just have to start night supplying.
I mean, they ignore it even if it is a vamp. Maybe, but there's a risk that he could be landing. And then he'd be having to go
I mean,
to
he'll win.
at the wrong
He'll win off
timing.
the Fury of Dracula ability before that Hunter matures, anyways. So
Let's see. Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No, the vampire would mature first.
would it?
It would mature on the Sunday. I think. This is Wednesday night, so Cagliari slides to second space. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
No, I think it matures on the Monday.
It slides on the Monday. Oh, but that's really important though, because if he gets CG'd in his C space, if the vampire's going to mature, it doesn't matter. It will mature before he dies to the CG.
Oh.
But if it is a vampire and they deal with it, then he would die to the CG. All thanks to the Immortal update. Trail slides first. So yeah, you can almost vampire mature your way out of Consecrated Ground sometimes, depending on the order and such. Yeah, Mr. Green almost got his comeuppance with that. Yeah, maybe that's why he fought so long. Yeah, maybe he was doing the calculations in his head. Newspaper report? Newspaper report would be great, telling you what direction he's going in. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, I'm surprised Gadami moved. I just keep supplying. Try and get that stake. Or send
They
Godalming
may
over
already
there.
have it.
Hmm. Yeah,
Because there's
maybe.
only 3 in the discard and only 4 cards left to draw, so it's actually not unlikely that one of them already has it.
2 Holy Bullets as well.
Still one of those out of the discard. Did he just skip Seward's turn?
I hope not. I'm watching it back on my other monitor. No, he must have supplied. Oh, he didn't supply.
Did he
What did
just
he
skip
do?
Seward's turn?
I don't know. I'm watching it. I'm waiting for it to trigger.
Oh, you know what? He probably wants only Mina and Van Helsing to do it because he's hoping he can get either an Evil Presence or local rumors.
There's a Dracula event on top.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
just
Then
supplied to get it
I've
off.
got no idea what that was about. Then he just moved Mina back up to 37 anyway. So
No. Maybe he did skip. I'm so confused.
misclick maybe.
Maybe. If Godami has the stake, it'd been faster to sail. Yep, you're right. But what if Dracula's going east now? That deterrent has gone away as well. Okay. That's a wolf form.
Oh, interesting.
Right, folks, get your votes in. Is that a wolf form from Mediterranean? And if so, where? Or is that a wolf form from the Tyrrhenian? And if so, where's he
Now would
gone?
be great if he had that speedy telegraph so he could immediately scan Italy.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like 24 or 60 would be interesting choices because it would pop up as him being in Italy, and it
Mm,
might be like just a red herring to think that he was down in the boot when he was really up there.
right. But there's a risk that they just randomly check it and you could get 2-on-1 here. By
Yeah,
Seward and Van Helsing.
I feel like they're more likely to go down toward the boot just to
You'd imagine so.
get somebody down there because if he gets out through Bari, then he just goes to the east and he's pretty much just got free reign to do whatever the heck he wants.
Right. Friday, Saturday. I mean, Godalming's nearby. If he's got Lucy's Revenge or something, he might be able to deal with Dracula 1-on-1. And
Yeah.
Strider's still screaming for the wax cylinders. Okay, we got quite a lot of bets for Bari.
At
3
this point,
bets
he's
for
probably.
Bari.
Oh, he is going to deal with Cagliari.
Mid 1 vote for
At this
Madrid.
point, it might have just been better off like focusing everything because he wasn't going to trap Dracula on the coast, so it doesn't really matter. Dracula will win on the same turn either way. Okay,
Oh.
he did go to Italy.
Oh, you could have just psychic scanned and you'd have got more or less the same info. Oh man.
Well, he didn't know whether or not he could have been in France or Spain as well.
Right, but you can check Gallia on the way. I guess it gets a little bit more direct.
I mean, what else was he going to save it for?
Well, that's true. If you don't use it now, then yeah, you're right. But imagine he's in Geneva now,
Yeah,
and then he can move
that's
up
the
to
thing.
Paris. We're also saying one more ocean would have been advantageous. He could have wolf formed to Gallia from South Atlantic, or back into the East via Ionian.
We still don't know whether he went to Tyrrhenian or Mediterranean, though.
That's the problem. Because we've had no evil presence. We had one earlier, but no local rumors.
We had
No
one local
more evil
rumors earlier
presence.
too.
Right. So we didn't draw one of the other copy of each card. That would have been
Yeah.
very. Let's try to now say Bari because of the hypnosis. Yeah, at least Mina can move. That's true. She did use it as a day action, so she can move today. If you have renewed vigor, you could potentially get him in Bari if he's trying to.
Yeah, he could have gone Genoa. Now he can go back to Marseille too.
Because it's opened up. But I guess the problem is you wouldn't know which hunter is going to Cagliari. But I guess you just assume it's Van Helsing because he was the one who sailed on the coast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if he just went to 24, I mean, that leaves his options open. He can go back into Marseille if the hunter moves off, or he's also got Strasbourg or Paris to go to. Of course, he could have gone to 60, and he could be as far away as Nuremberg by now.
Um, the issue with that comment, Quincy, is if Hyde was cleared from the trail, it means you'd have a space on the trail between two cards, which was empty, which is not allowed. And if you push Cagliari back one space, then that's not fair. You're making it less likely that you're making it longer for Cagliari to mature. That's not fair either. Um,
They still
so I
talking about the whole
the
clearing
clearing of
Draculas.
Cagliari thing again. Yeah, I think it's again one of these niche things that the rules do not account for. Quincy's saying there's a developer FAQ somewhere, and I'll have to try and find that. But again, I think it's one of those interactions they didn't account for. I think digital handled it correctly, and I think that was the common sense way of dealing with it.
Thing is, though, what would happen if he had played Dark Call?
Yeah, good point. Well, that's why we can test. We can test it and see what happens if the game just breaks. If it makes a difference if Dracula's been revealed or not, we could also test that. Anyway, Gadami supplied, which is kind of interesting. I thought you'd
Hoping
have
for
to
an evil
either check.
presence or local rumors, maybe.
I guess so. The evil presence right now would probably be negative because he would have moved away from Zurich or.
Like 24.
Oh, you went Spencer Robot Heart there for a second. Do you want to say that again?
Like, you kind of. Um, you there?
Yeah, there you go. Now you're not robot
Okay.
anymore.
No, you were the robot.
Oh, okay. The stream probably heard you as robot, but never mind. Carry on. I think it
Okay.
sorted itself.
No worries.
Yeah, exactly. Spencer Wolf robot. Beep boop. So yeah, Kadami supplied didn't get hired scouts, but as you said earlier, right? He drew 3 of the hired scouts really early, and this is the time when you need them.
Okay, well, not Genoa then.
No. I guess he's worried about the Marseille move, like you're suggesting. Okay, it was
Oh,
a
would you look
vamp.
at that, a vampire?
No,
Okay, he's got to have the stake then.
yeah, absolutely. And not giving any points away. Not that'd be relevant unless there was a vampire lair kicking around.
Yeah.
Maybe Geo doesn't have like renewed vigor, but I feel like if you don't have renewed vigor, I wouldn't do like half and half sort of moves. I would just sit and supply with everybody today to try and maximize your chance of getting it.
That's odd.
So I don't know, like these two
Well,
moves, he's ruled out the sneaky moves, but the thing is, it means if he's in Bari, he's gone
I
away
mean,
with it, and if he was in Geneva or Zurich, he's gone away with it.
yeah. I mean, I don't know that he's really ruled out the sneaky moves. I mean, just Genoa and Venice, but I think 24 or 60 are also sneaky moves.
Yeah, but the thing is, if Dracula has done that, he's completely gone away with it because they've moved further away from him now and given him
Yeah.
another move to get away. And some weather down to Bari? Yeah, possibly. What was if Dracula feeds now? Is Mina going to really excellent weather on her own down there? And she doesn't have excellent weather anyway. She has a sense of emergency.
I mean, she can get down to Bari with that, too.
Yeah, but then she's taking double. She's taking
Bring
2
2
additional
damage, yeah.
damage going into 2 encounters and Dracula. Oof. How many Drac events left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 19, so 6. 6 out of 26, so the odds have improved slightly. This is the time for the night supply risk. Maybe he did draw 3 off the bottom before.
Now he uses the wax cylinder. Oh!
Look at that, it was Barry. Well done, everybody in the chat.
Okay, well, what you can do about that now?
Right, so what do you do here as Dracula? Do you go to Adriatic Sea instantly, knowing you have to land in Valona, or do you just feed and hope they don't have renewed vigor? So then you just go Adriatic and then land instantly on the Monday to win.
I would go Adriatic Ionian.
Oh, okay, so you take extra sea damage, but then you just land.
Yeah, but it's not going to matter because he just lands and gets his points, and that's that.
Right, okay. I guess then the argument would be oh, because I posted a link to an old BGG thread about this exact quirk. TLDR, the hide should have been cleared, not the current location. I don't know if I agree with that, but I'll read the thread and I'll see what it looks like. But to me, that doesn't seem fair at all. That would just break the trail even more. But I'll read it and I'll work it out after that. Oh, he's feeding. Okay, so he's banking on the idea he doesn't have renewed vigor, and it seems like he doesn't have renewed vigor. So he could actually get away with this. And the thing is, if he's feeding, he's going to get more IDS, which means if it does go to a tiebreaker, then Snuff will be in a better position to pick his desired role.
Well, at this point, I mean, it's going to depend on somewhat on how well equipped she is, but I feel like this is going to be his one and only chance of taking out Dracula is to just get Mina into a combat at least with sense of emergency.
Hmm. I guess a double fog. It could be a double fog. Yeah, you're right. I guess the question is, I suppose Snuff took the risk of being, well, he didn't play Renewed Vigor last turn and only one Hunter supplied. So what are the odds that he's picked up Renewed Vigor? And he feels very safe. And if it is double fog, then fair enough. That is also the other way around it. Double fog's good because normally hunters don't carry 2 forewarns with them. He might even have drawn both of them.
But yeah, in any case, all Dracula's got to do is go to sea and then immediately land, and that's that.
And that's it. Unless he can. Oh!
Oh!
Oh, snap! Well, the theory's going to put to the test. We know Mina doesn't have forewarned unless Van Helsing trades one to her. So I guess the question is, does Sud have a forewarned? And if he does, how many? How many fogs are we going to experience here? Here we go.
Yeah, Dracula honestly should have just gone Adriatic. Okay, that's the hide card, is a vampire.
So at best, there's only one fog. Oh, escape
Okay.
route. Okay. The Bari thing was not ambushed. Mina would still be in trouble if she sends emergency in her way in that because you'd have to take the new vampire fight and then whatever Bari is. If it's a fog, Van Helsing might be able to trade a forewarn to her if he has one. Yeah, that's right. You only need to do 9 damage to Dracula, not 11, because he would have to take 2 damage from Adriatic, or he has to stay in fog, or he has to stay on land, and then the others could move in.
Yeah, I think feeding was probably not the best idea for Dracula.
It feels like Van Helsing can't have forewarned because if he did, he just traded to Mina instantly.
Yeah.
Or I would say even, oh man,
Okay,
I would
well,
say that if you don't have it, you still fake a trade to Mina anyway
Yeah,
to make it look like you got
yeah.
forewarned, and just hope then that like I guess
I
Drax is
mean,
gonna ambush anyway because what's he gonna
yeah. At that
do?
point, there's no reason not to ambush. I mean, Mina might as well go because unless there's just the slim chance that Seward can just knock Dracula down 9 health alone, which is unlikely.
Is there a possibility of a planned ambush? Yeah,
Even
one
with a
got
planned
used.
ambush, he'd be hard pressed to deal
Yeah.
9 damage to Dracula.
You really need Sister Agatha here as well. The problem is
Yeah,
both surprise returns have been used, so Aggie's not coming back. He used it to search Cagliari, which in the end wasn't worth it. Hmm. What do you do with Mina? Do you risk going in and getting fogged, or you try and take the one-on-one with Seward?
I feel like his odds of doing any appreciable damage to Dracula with just Seward is really low. I think the odds are better that he wouldn't have put that he wouldn't have had a fog to put down. So I would personally move Mina in.
No, he must have fog. He has to have fog. Oh, that's true. They have consecrated ground and enough
Necessarily,
heavenly host. Only needs 7 damage because you can force him to see twice.
or some Dionian.
Hmm.
Even so, doing 7 damage, especially when he with Agatha not in play, Dracula has the ability to heal with a fang.
Right, that's the problem. If Aggie
So
was
unless
here,
Seward's like armed to the teeth with knives and heavenly hosts,
yeah. I
yeah, I
mean,
think he's got to kind of move Mina in.
I think those one holy bullets we didn't see discarded before the deck reset, so Sud might have holy bullets. Holy bullets Heavenly Host would do it as long as he doesn't
True,
get fanged on the way out. Um,
true.
yeah, the only I, we see that you're still watching, Roscoe. That's only because Dracula's in a winning position. Heavenly Host. I don't think Heavenly Host would be strong enough. No, you need to do 7 damage. Yeah, yeah. They use Red's Return to search Cagliari. Yeah, getting Agatha back here would be massive. But then you wouldn't have Rufus. So I guess it'd be like, can I do more damage to him in the combat? And then he would take. It would only be 1 damage extra you'd need, which might be enough. Yeah, I think Aggie would be worth it. Okay. Let's try and go for the one-on-one. Here we go. Can Seward do it?
Yeah. Yeah, didn't even have planned ambush or anything.
No, imagine if it was Godalming with also Lucy's Revenge. That would also help out. 1 item fewer, but having that card could be big. Well, we'll see. Fanging. Ah,
And that's game.
that's game. After all that. Oh, God. Good play by Snuff there. Yeah, that's fine. He may as well use the Great Strain because he's not going to use it for any other reason.
Yeah.
Not that you normally use on a bite. Well played, Snuff. Lucky guess, he says, hey? Oh, Ariel saying garlic in the chat. Yeah, that would have been good.
A crucifix would have been great.
Yeah, crucifix would be massive. Same way you beat the Immortal. Good guess on finals versus Heavenly Host. Yeah. So yeah, these two got a history. They played against each other in the Immortal Invitational twice, and Gio got the better of him. Albeit Snuff was playing Hunters both times, and Gio was playing Drac both times, but still. Gio's asking, was it Fog? Yes, I think it was Fog. It has to be Fog, right? If you're sitting there with no Fog, that'd be mental. But he must have it.
The same thing. The one 5-week game I had with, was it Pizza Wizard?
Mm-hmm.
That I pulled that off in Liverpool.
Oh, right. Well, I was going to say that earlier because that's a really good example as well with how the game's been changed. That you can bait a lot more with Fog because Fog's a lot
Yeah.
stronger now because of the way Forewarned works.
Yeah.
Oh, he says he still have a chance to win. I
No,
don't
he
know.
doesn't.
I don't know
That's not
how he has a chance to win.
He goes to Adriatic, and then Fury of Dracula is immediately active. If he doesn't immediately play Consecrated Ground to block off his landing points, then he immediately wins there. If he does block off those landing points and just moves to Ionian Sea and wins the next turn. So I really don't see where he's coming from there.
Unless he's worried about a Vampire Lair. So imagine there's a situation
That
where
that's
he lands in Valona instantly, gets siege. Oh, he can't get siege in place because of the Heavenly Host being gone. So even
yeah.
if he, so yeah, even if he does, I can't see. Oh, okay. Well, if he's giving himself giving him cards, then
Yeah.
a bit predictable by Seward to open with the Heavenly Host, but understandable. Yeah, but then it's always Sod's Law, right? If you don't play that Heavenly Host, you curse yourself for not having played it.
Yeah.
I suppose even if it wasn't Heavenly Host, unless it was a knife or something like a crucifix or Galax, we would discuss it. You know, if it was like a rifle with holy bullets, well, Dracula still gets 2 health off it.
Yeah.
So it's not. If Ague's in play, then that's a different story. Snuff is confused. He already won. Yeah, I think it's almost impossible.
Yeah,
Unless they play
I
Vampire
don't
Lair.
see that parlay is the only hope they would have to not immediately lose. But even then, the odds of them getting anywhere to be able to do with anything with Dracula when the one turn window they have is non-existent, I think.
No. You need to get double X and Weather onto the Loner or something. It's the only way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if you, yeah, but if they had Vampire Lair, yeah, theoretically possible.
And the only one who could possibly have it would be Godalming, because he was the one who was applying all this time. So if he's not,
Yeah.
if he hasn't got it, there's no chance. Well, it's not over, because obviously in the reverse match, they'll switch. And yet, as I said, Gio did beat Snuff twice in Immortal Invitational as Dracula. In this tournament, Snuff won 5 Hunter games. Gio also won 5 Hunter games. 5 Dracula games, sorry. So it'll be, could be in for a very intense second game. But Snuff's got the upper hand and also quite a big IDS lead, which will be quite advantageous if it goes to a tiebreaker. Yeah. Yeah, you can just play. Yeah, he's playing CG now just to force him one more C space, and that'll be it. I don't need to put it on Bari. Bari's a wolf form. It was a fog. Oh, he did it to find out what it was. That's fair.
Where's the fog?
I'm surprised Mina didn't like send some emergency down to Sarajevo then.
Hmm.
Because he could have tried to catch him. If there's a vampire lair today now, he could have maybe tried to catch him in the east, but I think it might be too late. Why put CG in Venice? Because Dracula could just land there and win now for free. He could just land in Venice.
What the heck is he doing with wax cylinders?
Don't know.
There's literally nothing he can do with wax cylinders. Hide is already revealed, and so are all any encounter cards on the trail.
I don't know if I wonder if the game actually. I don't think the game would allow you to play deduction if there's all the encounters are face up. CG and Valona? Yeah, maybe just in case for later. Just in case there's a vampire lair, but Snuff can just play this really safe. That's the thing. He doesn't have to land from Ionian if there's a risk of him somehow dying. He can just play it really safe. But even then, I think he might be okay. Oh, that's right. There is a card. It can't be Unearthly Swiftness, otherwise he would have played it already. I assume he would have done. Although Snuff did have a bit of a problem with Unearthly Swiftness in his last game against Pizza Wizard.
If he's
Oh
got
no, two
Darkness
games ago.
Returns, he could win by going to Venice.
He can't
I'm
land in
guessing it's probably
Venice.
nothing particularly. No, I'm saying if he has the Dracula card he's got is Darkness. No, not Darkness Returns. Devilish Power. He could
Right.
land in Venice.
Yes, he could. He could. If he had Unearthly Swiftness, he would have played it last turn. But he did have problems with Unearthly Swiftness, so maybe he was scared about using it again. Yeah, Devilish Power would be good, but the chances of drawing it is unlikely. But they even know. I got Doctor's Returns against Snuff, and then Snuff got Unearthly Swiftness against Pizza Wizard. So I mean, stranger things have happened, and there are two Devilish Powers. So you just never know. No, he's having to move. I
Nope.
see. That's fine.
Okay. Well, unless he's got Vampire Lair, then it's all over.
Mm-hmm. I guess he didn't draw Renewed Vigor, which is pretty unlucky given how far into the deck he is. Where was that earlier? Wild not to have drawn Renewed Vigor this far into the deck. Yeah, pretty much. I bet now he's drawn it today. And it's useless to him. Although he just discarded Blood Transfusion. That's pretty unfortunate. Oh, he just discarded Renewed Vigor from Van Helsing. Okay, now that's game. So Dragon's going to finish on 9 health, unless Snuff does something unexpected. Snuffaluffagus. No, he played this very well. He did everything he had to do. Tough game all round. But yeah, he did get lucky a little bit at the beginning. There was no newspaper in that. But he used it to his advantage.
Yeah.
Well, the number 5th seed takes the first game in this little first round knockout matchup, whatever the correct terminology is. And yep, Gio has at least one more game to go. We'll have to see if he can get the revenge. Let's see if my fellow garlic farmer can get the win. Or will Snuff progress through to the quarterfinals 2-0? We'll have to see. No renewed vigor, excellent weather, or consecrated in moments, like decisive moments. Only for in the final supply. Yikes. Philly saying I worked an extra an hour and 20 minutes today on some grunt work, so thank you for making me productive. You're most welcome. You're most welcome, Philly. Yes, right, we've got another game in 1 hour, folks. Strider is playing Dracula against Terminus. Strider will probably be, I just recording your perspective, I assume. Fangs will be streaming. Cool, intense game, but good game. Any parting thoughts, Spencer, especially in terms of like the Dracula play, since we had the Dracula player winning this one? Any particular thoughts
Yeah,
on
I
how
mean,
Snuff played?
Dracula play was pretty strong throughout. So Snuffaluffagus says only interesting was I almost layered my initial aristocratic vamp. Yeah, I was wondering that he thought about it for a while before he actually matured that initial vampire with a bat under the hide in Athens.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And Spy in Valona, oof. And in Salonica. Oh man, he did lose some really powerful cards then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those double Spy on those small cities would also be very good. Quincy, my understanding is that this phase is called the Octafinals. No, I'm just calling it first round. At least in Europe, Octafinal is not something we ever say. We just say first round, second round, third round, fourth round, fifth round, and then when it gets to quarterfinal, we just say quarterfinal. Oh, look, Snuff is now, I haven't played much less strat. He didn't want to risk it. Ah, no worries, Carafan. Thank you very much for checking out the live stream. Good to see you. Oh, 10 hours before university lectures. I assume then that means you must be on the European side of the world. If that's the case, it'd be quite easy for us to play a practice game at some point if you want it. Give me a shout on Discord if you want.
All right. Well, I've got some things to take care of, so I will make my farewells now. But it's been great being on your stream here, and I hope we can do it again sometime.
Absolutely, you're welcome back anytime you like. Thank you very much for joining. It's been a while since you've been on the channel, so thank you again for
Oh,
co-commentating with me.
that was great being here.
Thank
All
you very
right.
much.
My
And
my cat's telling me he needs to get fed, so goodbye.
bye bye. Yeah, you gotta take care of priorities. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, everybody. There's a lot of people in this live stream, just watching, but also participating in the chat, which is amazing stuff. So thank you very much. Yeah, do go and check out Fangs of Fire's live stream in an hour's time for Terminus versus Strider. Very exciting stuff. And yeah, at the moment, I don't know when I'm going to do my next live stream, just because a lot of the games are too late my time. If a lot of American opponents are playing, and then what else? And then there are games on Sunday, but because of the timing, I might not be able to stream them. I think I'd only be able to stream Snuff and Geo's third game if it's necessary. But obviously, Snuff's intention will be that that third game is not necessary. For my fellow garlic farmer, I hope the tiebreaker is a necessity, but we don't know. Yes. Scottsel was rooting against you. I think Snuff knows that. Even though I am president of the Snuffaluffagus fan club, I always root for my fellow garlic farmer. But honestly, in all the knockout phases and all the knockout matches. I just want amazing Fear of Dracula. In general, I'll root for the underdog. It's just midnight here. Oh, interesting. Okay, so you're an hour ahead of me then. I'm in Spain, and it's 11:30, or more or less 11:30. It's Halloween. True, it is Halloween tomorrow / today, depending on your point of view. That's true. Well, happy Halloween, everybody. Did you know that Halloween was a Celtic tradition? You can thank the Scots for it, and the Irish. Oh, thank you, Snuff. Well played again. Well played. Nah, that's good. So yeah, I'm gonna head off just so I can try and get an early start to things tomorrow. But yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I appreciate all of you who was here. Snuff has just joined. Carafan was here. Strider, Gyro, Philly, of course. Fangs of Fire. Ariel was here. Quincy was here. Anybody else I've forgotten? Roscoe, of course. How could I forget Roscoe? Roscoe was here, and Roscoe stayed until the end. So lots of brownie points for Roscoe there. And everybody else who's watching this back after the fact, thank you very much. Thank you for getting me to 200 subscribers as well. So, yeah, take care, everybody. Happy Halloween Eve, I suppose, and happy Halloween when it comes. Yeah, I will stream a game when times permit it. Maybe at the weekend, we'll have to see. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Quincy. I was talking to Spencer. The chat that you and Spencer were having was a little bit misleading. I didn't know if you meant Friday this week or Friday next week. So just clarify with Spencer what Friday you mean, because obviously if it's Friday next week, then that's a bit of a problem because the deadline is Friday next week. So playing your first game on Friday next week might be a little bit touch and go. No, that's a good Caravan. Bought the game like 2 days ago. Well, you're always welcome. I know university and stuff is quite stressful. I've been through all that, but yeah, anytime you want to play, just either let me know or let any of the others know. And yeah, you are going to be playing against seasoned players, but at the same time, we are very helpful. We will help you out as much as possible, as much as you want us to help you. There's no like expectation that we will help you in terms of like giving you advice and analysis and stuff, only if you ask us to. We will tell you as much as you want us to tell you. Oh, you played during live events of Fear of Dracula. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't even know that was a thing. Just trying to find the board game is hard enough. Especially since, I discovered it during 3rd edition. That went out of print. And then 4th edition came out. And then that's out of print. And then when will there be a 5th edition? Who knows? Don't don't wait up at night waiting for a 5th edition to come out, because we might be waiting quite a long time. So yeah, digital is the best that we can do for now. It's good. Digital's great because you're not so reliant on having to try and find groups of people to play with. You can just hop on and find people online, and the games are typically shorter. But we do normally play one-on-one. We can play community games. We do sometimes play group games, but they're harder to organize. But if it's something that you want to do, we've got a separate Discord server where we organize all the tournaments and stuff. And you can maybe try and get a group game going on there, maybe. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th editions. Nice, okay. Well, you'll notice 2nd edition is quite different from the other two, I think. You've come into the digital edition at a really good point, because as I said, the game's just been recently updated. And it's now so much closer to 4th edition. It's pretty much is the same as 4th edition. Yeah. I think at the moment, because we've got this tournament going on, maybe people don't have as much time for community games. But definitely once this tournament starts, either finishes or as people start getting eliminated, there'll be a lot more people freed up. play 4-on-1s. I remember after the very first League of Dracula 2 years ago, for some reason over the Christmas after that, so Christmas 2022 going into 2023, there were just so many community games with like 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s, 4-on-1 games. It was really good fun. So hopefully we can do more of them again. A lot of them were spontaneous, which is kind of weird. Normally that's not normal. But now we've got a bigger community. It's possible to do that. So yeah, we can definitely look into that. Just stay active on the Discord, and yeah, and if you want to get invited to the like community server that we use to organize the tournaments and stuff, then by all, or not tournaments, but we also organize we have just general chit chat in there and memes and stuff. So it's not just tournament stuff. We call it the community server. There's the Nomad Discord server, which has all of the Nomad games, but you use that to find friendly games of Fear of Dracula. But then we've got a separate Discord for organizing all the tournament stuff. But we have memes and strategy chat, and I think we're trying to also organize like other games. Like Met King was looking for people to maybe play Betrayal in the House of the Hill tomorrow because it's Halloween, and then maybe try and do some board game arena or Jackbox or Tabletop Simulator over Christmas or something. So it's something that we can easily do. So if you're interested, just pump me a message. Anyway, folks, I'm going to wrap up the stream, but thank you very much for watching. You're all absolutely amazing. And yeah, I'll see you very soon for another live stream or video. I won't have any of my own videos coming out for a bit because I've got to buy until the quarterfinals. However, plug on Sunday, one of my Keeping You Company podcasts is coming out. And in it, Arukamanya is returning the favor and is asking me loads of questions about American culture. Because in the previous podcast, I asked him loads of questions about British culture. So if that sounds interesting to you, then check out the podcast. It comes out on Sunday. The previous episode is on the channel. You can find it in the playlist and also on the main video screen. I don't think it's weird that you're a cooperative gamer. There's some people who are really into that. Most of the games I play are not cooperative, but Fear of Dracula definitely can be. It'd be also quite good if you have a good mix of experienced and new hunters. You could definitely have a good time. Oh, you're very excited, Snuff. I wonder why. I wonder why. Well, I'm very. By the way, Snuff, I've got a bone to pick with you. If you did watch the previous podcast, you didn't answer the questions, or if you did, you didn't tell us how well you did. Anyway, so yeah, that's coming out on Sunday at 6 p.m. my time, which is 5 p.m. UTC now, because we've gone back an hour. Anyway. Snuff is very interested because he ended up writing most of the questions for the quiz, not my co-host. Which I still find very funny, and I still need to get your side of the story on that stuff. But yeah, I just got a message after that British quiz. When the British quiz episode came out, literally the next day or a couple days later, Rook sent me a message saying, Snuff sent me an entire quiz. So yeah, he added in some questions. But anyway. Oh, okay, that's fine. If you're listening while you're getting ready for work and stuff, that's fine. I'm only teasing. The whole point of that podcast is you can listen to it while you're doing other stuff. So it's okay. If you didn't keep track, that's alright. Don't worry. I'm only teasing. I'm only teasing. Well, you can see me humiliate myself trying to answer most of your questions. Also, Rook did add in some questions as well. We did have some nice conversation in between on various things. So anyway, yeah, I'm heading off to relax and get ready for tomorrow. But yeah, take care, everybody. Thank you very much for watching for the umpteenth time. And yeah, I'll see you in a live stream very soon. Do check out in the description of this live stream, as in just like all my other videos, you'll find a link of all the other content creators who record videos for the League of Dracula or Fear of Dracula in general, and you also find the playlist to all the other games from this tournament. If you go onto my channel, you can find all the previous tournaments games, plus all my own like friendly games gameplays and the community games that we've done, and all my tips and tricks, guides, and stuff. I know there's a lot of content. Take care, folks. See you very soon. Bye for now.